Amazon buys MGM for $8.5 billion with a B. This is the streaming war of 2022. How do you get content and how do you deliver it? This is a fascinating deal, and it just goes to show that when it comes to capitalizing on the market trends, you have to own the content. Amazon's a great marketplace. They bring things to you all across the world, whether it's a dish rack, a towel, or streaming content. But the streaming wars are far more competitive than they've ever been. When Disney entered the market, they brought some of the most valuable intellectual property that has ever existed, Marvel and Star Wars among others. So when Amazon made the deal with MGM and it was announced a couple of days ago, I had to dig in and learn a little bit more. The first question is, what are the regulators saying? Why would a regulator be interested in what content is owned by which distribution company? Well, the Europeans have already approved it, and so have the United States regulators. So that means that this deal is happening. What does Amazon get out of this deal with MGM? Well, 4,000 movies, 17,000 TV episodes, 180 Academy Awards, and 100 Emmy Awards. That's a lot of content. And that also means that the other streaming platforms are going to have to pay their competitor Amazon to have access to that same intellectual property. If you can't beat your competitors, make them a customer. So this is interesting, and I think we're going to see a lot more of the content consolidation. Just as we saw AP Maersk buy Pilot Freight Systems, you have to own the supply chain. You have to own the inventory coming in, how it's distributed, and ultimately who consumes it. So what is Netflix doing about all of this? Well, I think that goes without saying. They have figured out a way to generate new revenue. And what they've talked about is a new password sharing fee. So for you out there who have Netflix and say, hey, if you want to borrow my account so you can enjoy the wonderful experience of Netflix, you may not be able to do that for much longer. Apparently, Netflix is testing a new way of revenue, and that is a fee for people that take their password and give it out to others. This fee looks to be about $3. Now, I'll tell you this, Netflix, that's a dumb idea. I think you're going to fail with this. And I actually would like to make sure that all the other streaming platforms that are out there focus on your users and your user experience. Don't focus on how you can try to generate new revenue from the way people use your platform. Perhaps you can put a limitator on how many screens can simultaneously cast. I think you have the technology to say only 4 at a time. I don't care which 4, but only 4. As opposed to saying, well, if you're going to be traveling for business and you want to use your device to watch it, you may have an additional fee. Netflix has to get better, and I think that they're doing a decent job overall with their own content creation. But if you're going to win the streaming wars of 2022, you need to spend big, and you need to think big. Where are the places you can find content? Now, my final piece here, I'm not super jazzed about the consolidation of media generally, and with Amazon specifically, with Disney as well. These are companies that own far more properties than most people realize, and they control far more than you expect when it comes to what you see and what you think. When you have massive consolidation like this, it means that there's not as many options as there used to be. It also means that people like me and others who are creating content have different ways to think about distribution. As always, I'm excited to talk to you about things that are interesting. I'll throw in the show notes a little bit about the Amazon deal. I'll toss in a little bit about Netflix, and I'll maybe throw in a graph that shows some of the market trends as people have gone to their TVs to stream content live. Streaming is not going away, and what every major brand needs to understand is, how do I get in front of my customer? How do I control what my customer sees? How do I control what their experience is? And if you have to go through a channel partner to find that end user, you're going to have to start thinking about ways to get there directly. Streaming isn't going away. Consolidations are certainly not going away. But I do hope that password sharing fees, if the test is successful, people opt to say, let's do a different limitator. We don't think we need to make the limitation based on the households. Maybe just do it by how many screens are simultaneously casting. Thank you. Have a great Saturday.